it going?
Good. What about you?
Good. So the tribe is a little crazy today. I have you to blame for it. I think it's
Me?
you're gone on my end. Okay. I think it's something you did. I blame you for this.
Me?
Yeah.
Me? What did I do?
So I barely gave you an intro because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Thank you for the 300 biddies for Derpy Paws, you absolute fucking maniac. We're in the hype level, level 5 hype train at 321%. And I haven't even introduced you yet because it's just going absolutely crazy.
That's insane.
With the party lights and everything. Blame the fox. What's going on, everybody? So yeah, I'll just leave it to you. Introduce yourself to these fucking maniacs here.
Hi guys. I think most of you know me. I'm Evy. I stream on Twitch. I usually do promotions for small bands. We do it entirely for free. Usually bands with less than 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And we talk a bunch of shit. That's what we do.
There we go. I mean, it's not very dissimilar to what we do on this channel, you guys. So that's why I want you to be introduced to Evy, you said, not Evie.
Yeah, it's Evy. It's Evy, not Evie, not a Pokemon.
Absolutely everyone I know calls you Evie.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason why we changed the name yesterday. It used to be my real name, Evy Wisse. But nobody said it right. Everybody called me Evie Wise, and I was so sick of it. And the Fox has been like a thing on my channel forever. So yesterday we finally changed to Evy the Fox.
Okay.
It was a long time coming.
Evy the Fox is if you guys do exclamation point guest in the chat, you'll get a link to Evy's Twitch channel. I was going to say Twitter for some reason. My brain just went. It's something with a T. That's what
Don't go to my Twitter. Don't go to my Twitter. It's a bunch of me complaining about shit. Don't.
Isn't that all of Twitter?
Yeah, that's why I have Twitter. It's my place to complain.
Okay, yeah. I do it here on this channel.
Yeah, I feel it. But I have more reach on Twitter than on my channel to talk shit to.
Okay, so speaking of reach, let's go back a little bit. Let's so you have this channel. You do a bunch of interviews. You've done just hangouts. You're an advocate for underground bands, which is something that tickles my tickles my fancy a little bit. I'm a big advocate for underground bands. I love shedding light on bands that don't necessarily have reach, especially being from the Middle East. I grew up in a place where bands aren't even fucking allowed to play. Tickle my pickle. There you go, Rami. Welcome to the show.
I'm going to tickle your pickle whenever.
Let's talk about what tickled you in the very beginning. How did you get into this world? How did you become someone that was an advocate for all these underground bands?
Oh, that's a long story. You have some time, right?
We do. This is the whole point.
So it started with, I just got on Twitch. I didn't know anything about Twitch or gaming or technology or anything. And I got into this community. I was a huge fan of The Word Alive. And Matt Horn, he played drums on Twitch. So I decided to join that community. And that was like 2 years ago. And they kept saying, Evy, you have to stream. It would be funny if you stream. And I was like, I don't know anything. I don't even have a computer. So they sent me a bunch of shit. They sent me headphones. They sent me a webcam. And I bought a computer. And on the 9th of January last year, I decided to stream. So first I played music. I played games. I can't game. Everybody who's in your chat from my community that's been there from the start knows I can't game.
Well, you and I have that in common. I played the very first, I think the third stream I ever did, we played Among Us. And I think there was 3 people in chat. And those 3 people in chat said, you suck. Like, I was like, God damn, you guys are cold, man.
So on the second month, I guess, someone came in my chat and said, oh, 1000 Below brought out a new song. And I want to see your reaction because you can't hide shit. So if you don't like it, we will see it. If you do like it, we will see it as well. And we know you are brutally honest. So I kind of just played the song, we reacted to it, and people are like, you have to do this, you have to make this a thing. So at first we only had metal release Fridays, and that kind of grew into bands with less than 50,000 listeners on Spotify. And we just did that and played games on the side, and I wasn't really a music channel. And then last August, it's kind of a sad story, but it's the beginning of where like the music thing popped off. My granddad, he was my person. He and I, we were like two peas in a pod. He was my biggest supporter, and he passed away. And I still wanted to stream just to like get my mind off of it. And I talked to my mods, and we were like, what can we do so I don't have to game and I still can have fun with what I'm doing, and it's easy and it's something that will benefit me. And we just came up with, let's do a show where we support bands with less than 5K on Spotify. Just for once, 10 bands, let's have fun with it. And in one night, I worked the entire night. We just built the platform, we found the bands, and we did it. And I liked it so much. The day after, I told my mods, let's skip gaming because I suck at it and I don't even like to game. And let's just do the music thing, and let's just do everything music alone. And that's how we basically switched in August last year from gaming to music full time.
So you're saying you like when you're talking about you had mods even back then, like you from turning from a very tragic situation and trying to put your creative in something new that you're building. You already had somewhat of a community if you had moderators around you and people to kind of help with that creative process.
Oh yeah, I have to say, my Twitch, I never had to build like a thing. It started off right away. So I was lucky enough to already be involved in so many communities that like supported me and stuff. So my first stream, I had over 150 followers, and I had like 40 average on my first stream. So that kind of popped off. So I never had the one viewer kind of thing where I had to find people to watch me. I always had like that baseline of people watching. And my mods, they are legends. I think they are both in chat. Ninja is my mod, and Argymlos, who's Jeffrey, is my mod. It's a full-time job. They work day and night for my stream. They do everything. I can't do anything when they are not around. So Ninja has been my mod for over a year. He just came into my stream one day and he was like, yo, I can help you. And ever since, he does everything tech-wise for me. All my commands, everything that needs to be figured out, he does it. Help me with my linkers for the band, stuff like that. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, we have we have 4 derpy paws, as everybody knows. Who's technically the boss of this show? I'm just the pretty face in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I feel you. I keep telling them the same. Like, if my ninja is not in my stream, I legit start to freak out. I'm like, where's Ninja? I can't do this. What if something goes wrong? What's the command? I don't know my own commands. What do I have to do? So if they are not in my stream, I swear to God, I start freaking out.
You know what I find really interesting is that maybe a lot of people listening to this, because we also stream this on, not stream, we'll put it up on Spotify and stuff. And a lot of people I know that listen to it on Spotify don't necessarily get the Twitch world just yet. They know about the podcast from like bands and stuff. If you were to explain the Twitch ecosystem to someone that has never opened the website, like we're saying, mods and commands and all these things that, a year and a half ago, I had no fucking clue what that was. If you were to explain it to someone that had no idea what Twitch was, what would you say?
I think moderators are basically the stream. I don't know how to call it. They basically regulate the stream behind the scenes. They regulate chat. They make sure that people feel welcome. They keep chat going. They ban people when they are rude in chat. They help you set up things technically. Like a command is when people type something in chat and like links pop up in chat automatically, or something funny that happens in stream, Like we have Randy in my stream. Everybody knows what's Randy in my stream. It's something, if you type it in, something pops up and your mods make sure that everything works and that's everything technically regulated behind the scenes.
Yeah. The Four Derpy Paws in chat says interactive radio with video is the best way to describe it to parents. That's a good one. Tater Newts with a question. By the way, speaking of questions, if you have a question, make sure you redeem the channel points. We have an Ask a Question channel point redeem. If you do that, it'll go in a list, and then we can get to all the questions a little further down in the podcast. Like I said, we do also put this on Spotify and YouTube after the stream. So hit us up over there, do all the things and the stuff. And I wanted to say shout out to Sven Marcus. We didn't get to say thank you for this. Thank you for the 4 months, my friend. Absolutely badass. Thank you. Yeah, we have fire, we have all that stuff. Yo, Mazaj, what's going on? So that's kind of a good segue, Mazaj. Thank you for that. I fell in love with underground bands and scenes. Like I was such a hardcore kid. I'm very fucking old now, but I was such a hardcore kid growing up. Like I would go to all the basement shows around the Middle East. I would not. There was not a single show that I didn't go to growing up, and mostly because I wanted to be a musician too. I wanted to mingle with the musicians because I wanted to play music. I wanted to make music myself and stuff. What was your upbringing like? Like when, way back, when was Evy's first metal interaction? When did you go, fuck, that's heavy, and I think I like it?
I've always been kind of into the metal scene. Like I think my first bands I listened to were like Korn and Alisana and Korpiklani, Blazafall. I was like the emo kid when I was 11, 12 years old growing up. My first festival was when I was 13 years old. I went to Hraspop for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents always let me do whatever I wanted within certain boundaries. Like I could go to festivals, but I couldn't dye my hair the colors I wanted and stuff like that. I couldn't get the snake bites. So they always prevented me from doing all of that stuff. But I don't know. I just, my parents, they used to be big fans of Metallica and AC/DC and stuff like that. So I always grew up knowing the classics. And then I had some friends and they told me like, oh, you have to listen to Korpiklani one day. And I liked it so much. It's so weird.
You just, the first time you hear vodka, you're like,
yeah,
oh shit.
It was beer. And it was so funny. Like, imagine being Korpiklani, the band that gets you into metal music.
Yeah, that's the first time I've definitely heard that.
So I used to be like the emo kid. I listened to all the emo bands, Alisana, Blazafall, Bring Me the Horizon. I used to love Broken Side. It's so wrong. It's so cringe, but stuff like that. And I just always listened to it. And I don't know. I used to go to a lot of shows. I don't know, the Belgian scene is kind of dead over the last 10 years, but we used to have shows all the time, everywhere. So we could legit go out whenever we wanted, everywhere we wanted, and there would always be small shows, small things to do. We had a few metal bars in the area. They are all gone now. So it's kind of pretty dead in Belgium right now, but we are trying to pick it up again. So that's kind of where it all started.
Isn't that the best thing about the fucking... I sound like a complete boomer. Isn't that the best thing about the internet? That we're not necessarily confined by what we can physically go to anymore. You can watch a show, you can find a band, you can do a whole bunch of things across all the fucking boundaries now because of stuff like this. And given like even, you know, the second wave of web where we can watch them play drums live on stream and shit like that. Just you get this insane different connection that we didn't used to get before.
I think the most insane thing to me is by doing this platform, whatever I do, is that people that I used to like be a huge fan of, like my biggest hero growing up was Shane Told from Silverstein.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have him on my Facebook, has been on my show, we talk. I can like just reach out to him and talk to him. And he used to be like my biggest hero. So talking to people that I used to look up to that much and having like 3,000 bands on my Facebook that talk to me instead of me talking to them. It's just insane.
Yeah. That part for me never grows old.
Yeah, exactly.
The tribe knows this. Everybody, I think everybody that's ever seen my face knows this. Stuff like fucking Dan Sugarman from Ice Nine Kills hangs out, and Mark Hunter got me into music. The reason I scream in a band is because of Chimera, and now we're like making projects together and shit. It's fucking crazy. It's insane because I think going back to what you said about like your parents were into AC/DC and Metallica, and I've tried to explain the difference between the Twitch or the modern version of fandom versus what it used to be back in the day. Like fucking Dave Mustaine and Iron Maiden were this thing on a pedestal that you can't reach, you can't physically get in touch with them, and that was part of the fandom, is that they're just larger than life kind of thing. Now it's more about like I feel like I know these people. You can follow them and physically see them in real time doing their thing, and it's just changed the dynamic of like a fan to creator relationship, which I think is very cool. I want to read the chat real quick because Kroka Stopka said Limp Bizkit got me into metal. I think that was a big gateway for a lot of people. Broken Side got you into metal. What? Sandy Sin from Aiming Graves. Sandy Sin is the vocalist of Dubai-based death metal band Aiming Graves. What's going on, Sandy? I saw someone else say I lost it. Yo, Twiggy's in the house. What's going on, Twiggy? When idols becomes friends, it's the best feeling. Yeah, absolutely. I was into old school metal. Evy opened up a world of other bands to me. Isn't that the fucking coolest though? Isn't that the best, Ninja? How did when you first started streaming, like we were saying, you jumped into it. It was you don't really know if it was like gaming versus music versus whatever it is you wanted to do. When did like the channel take shape in your head? And you started thinking like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking interview some people. I'm gonna start doing this. Was it right after the under 5K, or did it develop over time?
It's still developing. It changes all the time. So the interviews came kind of by accident. I had this option to work for a magazine, a French magazine that does a metal magazine. And they asked me like, we are French, but we want some English interviews live. Would you like to do them for us on your Twitch? So then I got chain told on. I had Nick Nocturnal. I had who else did we have? We have a bunch. We had Andy Sizak on. So they just asked me to do it, and we just kind of rolled with it. Like I did the first interview with Shane, and he's used to doing interviews. He has his own podcast and stuff, so I was very nervous. But afterwards, he said, like, you really have talent to interview people and to do this. So I really think you should go ahead with it because you ask really good questions. So that was kind of for me, like the confirmation that I needed. Like, you can do this and you should do this and you should roll with it. So we started a new podcast as well. Me and my friend JMR Music Reviews. He's on Twitch as well. He basically does the same thing as I do. And we made a new podcast where we have guests on. Like next month, we have Nick Nocturnal and Andy Sizak together on the podcast to talk a bunch of shit and go over metal news and stuff like that. So we kind of just take every opportunity that comes along the way, and everything that feels right for me and that I like to do, we just do it. And we see where we go and what people like and what I like. Because it's my show. Yeah. The most important thing is that I have fun with it.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. What was your world before this? Like,
oh shit.
Because you're good at interviews. You're down with the fucking scene. You're good at promoting bands and really hyping bands up. I remember seeing like you even had a daily counter of just how big this band is growing since the first time you found them. What were you doing before all of this?
Very sad. I kind of wasted 10 years of my life doing nothing. I was in a relationship, I was married, and um I just did nothing. I wasn't going out. I didn't do anything. I didn't have any friends. I only went to work. So I wasn't online. I didn't even have Facebook or Instagram or Twitch or anything social. I was legit on the couch watching Netflix, binge watching 24/7. And that's what I did. And then one day I tuned into an Instagram live to watch the word live. And then they said, oh, we're going on Twitch. And then I just made a Twitch, got into a community that took months before I actually started making friends up there. And then basically Twitch changed my life for the better.
Wow.
So last summer, I decided to leave everything, move back home. So I'm now at my parents' house and just full on invest in everything streaming, everything music, and everything I love. So I travel all the time to see bands. Um, every waking minute that I'm not working, I'm investing in my stream, in creating content, and doing new things, trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to figure out things, supporting bands because it's not just Twitch. I support them on social media all the time. I push them through my Facebook, through my Instagram, and I just try to get bands that feel like no one is listening or no one is paying attention. Even if just one person features them, they feel like their world is opening. And that moment when they appreciate it and when they are legit grateful and they tell me, like, oh, you really changed our band and the things that we do, it's all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine. Because you know what? I was actually on the opposite side of that. So when I first made Twitch, I made Twitch because I was listening to Rob Flynn's podcast from Machine Head. He had Mark Hunter on. And Mark Hunter from Chimera said, I have a live stream. I stream 3 times on Twitch every week. So I made a Twitch account. I checked out Mark Hunter. I realized there's like a little bit of music and stuff. Mark mentioned or rated over to Bees. Bees had a podcast on Twitch as well. He had Scuzz TV back in the day, which was huge in our region because we didn't have any fucking metal TV or journalists or anything. And then Bees opened up and said, if you have a band, drop your link in the chat. And I did. And he played Svengali. And I was like, holy fuck. Bees from Scuzz TV is listening to my band right now. And that it's exactly what you said. Like, as from the opposite side of the spectrum, I was like, holy fuck, they're playing my music. It's the best thing in the world. We got like 10 followers that day from it. You know what I mean? It's like the best fucking thing in the world. And yeah, it was just super cool. I think it's, but it's insane that you're not like taking on this entire Twitch thing, but like there's so many people that have spent, you know, instead of 10 years not in that world, 10 years trying to build it and still work half as hard. Like you had to not only learn things just for live streaming, but like a fucking whole new world, basically. You didn't even have Instagram, you said.
Oh yeah, it was a whole new. I am very lucky. I do have some friends in the music scene that have been friends for a long time. Like my boys from Virtue, I love them to bits, and their manager is an absolute gem. So he has helped me with the ins and outs, everything. If I ever have a question about the music scene, he just helps me out. He gives me all the ins and outs. He gives me some information. He helps me with my social media. Like my Instagram was on like 400 followers in January, and he was like, you have to do this, try this will help. And my following just went rocket high in a few weeks just because I had someone give me that information that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It's nice to have some help, but I have to say I was very naive about certain things in the scene that really shocked me once I got in there. Things that happened that I never really know, and I was like, holy cow. And I have strong opinions. I share my strong opinions a lot on my socials, and like about PR, about bands paying for reaction videos, stuff like that. So I do have like strong opinions about it. So a lot of things I had to learn really quick, and a lot of things that shocked me, basically.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about that because I think you and I are on the same page when it comes to that stuff. But we do have a couple of questions in the question box that I want to get to. Tater says, "How's everyone doing today?" That's a good question, Tater. Everyone's doing fine. How are you doing, Evie?
I am doing absolutely great. I had the laziest day I had in months. I did nothing. I fell asleep at like 1:30 and I woke up at 5:45.
Yeah,
So I did nothing. So I'm absolutely buzzing and I'm very excited to be here. So
I want one of those days. I'm missing one of those days. I need one of those days very, very soon. We have a 3-month-old, or he's 4 months now, and it's the second one. So it's like I don't get any sleep anywhere anytime soon until he's like 2 maybe. We have another question. Were you involved in music before you started the Twitch thing? We kind of answered that, but were you still like able to go to shows or do that kind of stuff?
music has always been my world. Always. I've always listened to music, found new bands. Like listening to music is like my daily thing. I wake up listening to music. I go to sleep listening to music. I came from the era where it was MySpace and the beginning day of YouTube, when it was not oversaturated with bazillion videos. So I could still easily find all my music videos. Like I remember watching Knives and Pens and stuff like that, like all the epic videos, Situations by Escape the Fate, stuff like that. So I always listened to music, always been very heavily searching for new music, bands that nobody knows. I still went to shows, but we don't get a lot of shows here in Belgium. Like usually when touring happens, they skip Belgium because the Belgian scene is not very, I don't know. If we even have a scene, they are pretty laid back. They don't move, they don't sing along. They are pretty dead. So we don't have a lot of shows. So but I still went to a few shows. But
Yeah.
the question, if I was actually involved in music, I can't sing, I can't play any instruments. Like I do karaoke on my stream all the time, but I cannot sing one bit. So I never really was into a band or anything like that.
Well, I mean, I'm in a band and I can't sing for shit. So that doesn't mean anything. Nigel, what's going on? I didn't see you sneaking. Is MySpace still a thing? No, it's not. Definitely not. It's long dead and gone.
I'm that old.
Crocus. Come on, look at the gray hairs. Crocus asking, what is your background? What did you study? Do you mind answering that?
I studied carpentry. I used to do economics and mathematics, and then I did carpentry. And I actually work as a tech for a woodworking company. So my company, we build machines, and I am a tech on the road. I travel worldwide to fix machines, install machines, educate people how to work with the machines, how to fix them, stuff like that. So I have a very, very, very busy job next to streaming.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds absolutely crazy and very polar opposite worlds kind of thing. Like actually getting up and moving outside, versus streaming where it's like, this is my chair, this is where I do everything.
That's on Friday. We don't stream from a chair. I have a desk that I can level up. So on Fridays we are jumping around in this room.
I have
spin kicking. Yeah,
I have that desk. I just don't stand up.
We made that conscious. Yeah, we made that conscious decision to have the Wednesdays sitting down and the Fridays standing up to have a different dynamic in show.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just fat and lazy, so it's just like, whatever. Whatever. You guys can do that, but anyway, we have 2 more questions. Growing up, I am sure you had a dream / specific job, future plans. And did they work out? Did you have, was this in the stars for you when you were growing up, or did this come out of nowhere?
I have to say my dream has always been to be involved in music and do something in the music scene, and it still really very much is. So I still hope that from my Twitch I can learn enough about the scene to maybe say fuck that shit, I'll leave Belgium, go to the US and actually make it a full-time job. Or if I ever win the lottery, I am going to start my own venue.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I really hope that I can do music full time one day, but for now I'm very happy with my job as well. But if it was possible to do the music thing full time, I would do that.
You know what's fucking cool is that you said have my own venue. That means you have looked into it, because a lot of people think like, oh, record label, or you know what?
Yeah.
I've asked a lot of people like, what do you want to do in the industry? Like, you know, tour with a band. But venue is very specific need that only comes after like years of looking into it.
I even have a full plan for it. Like I want to have my venue with a bar, with like a hostel next to it, and in the back of the venue I want like a producing and video shooting part, so that the venue doesn't have to rely on money from the bands to do the gigs, but that can rely on the producing and the video recording and the hostel and the bar, so that bands actually can profit from it and make money from playing gigs instead of having to pay for the gigs. So that's the big dream.
Oh shit. Damn, girl. Okay. That's a deep dive. That's a pretty sick deep dive in there. I just want to say, Carl, thank you for 15 months. 15 months. From the very beginning. Did you just say diarrhea, Carl? Thank you.
It's too early for that.
He just went diarrhea. Okay. There was one more question. Oh, the questions are keep kicking in. Do you come to the Netherlands for shows? Because I go to Belgium for GMM. Is that Grass Pop Metal Meeting?
Yeah. So if you're going to Grass Pop, go check out for some redhead with like a cute ponytail on the Jupiler stage, because you will find me there. Come say hi. Let's have a drink together, whoever it was. But yes, I do go to the Netherlands sometimes. The last show in the Netherlands was in Haarlem, I think. Was my guys from The Word Live with Of Virtue, Aviana, and Make Them Suffer. That was the last time I went to a gig in the Netherlands.
Oh, crazy. Wait, you're going to be on stage at Grass Pop?
No, I'm going to be in front of the stage.
Okay, cool.
Too bad. I do actually have, there's a new festival in Belgium. It's a second edition. It's called Heavy Lakes. It's in November, and they did ask me to do stage management. So I am going to be on stage there to like announce the bands and hype the people up, because that's what I do.
Hell yeah. That's actually a good question. When you explain what you do right now to people that might not know it, like, you know, some older family friends come over, they're like, hey, what have you been up to? What do you explain? What do you do online?
So it's funny, it's not the older people, but I have two little nieces. They are 4 and almost 7. And they ask me all the time, like, what are you doing in your room? Why can't we come up on Wednesdays? And I just say, your auntie has to make television online. That's basically what I'm explaining.
I've started saying host just to people that don't get it. Like, what do you do? Oh, I host the show. And that just kind of, it summarizes it a little bit. They know that word.
My parents often watch his stream. Like, my dad comes into it, and he even came upstairs one day to do a karaoke with me on my stream.
I saw the clips of that, yeah.
They do know a little bit of what I'm doing, but metal and streaming isn't something that is involved around here. So people usually do a little bit jokey about it, or they laugh about it. They don't really know what's going on. So it's very hard to explain. So I kind of be like, yeah, I just host a show where I promote bands for free, and they usually leave it to that.
Yeah. I do the same. I say it like I host a music show online. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
That I summarized it at, and haven't done much after that. Hangman Spark. Everyone needs a good hype man.
Hangman Spark, love you guys. Welcome in.
Welcome. Um,
Those
Nigel
are
says,
one of
"I
the bands. Hangman's Park, they are one of the bands that we could see total benefit from having them on the show to growing. Like they had 5 monthly listeners the first time that they came on the show. And like a few weeks after, they brought out new music and stuff. And they hit over 100 monthly listeners after that. So I was very proud. I was a proud Fox, and they are absolute sweethearts. So they
hell
definitely
yeah,
deserve it.
hell yeah." Is that was actually going to be a question I was going to ask you. What kind of feedback do you get from bands and from things like that? Like, let's say Hangman Spark. Has there been a time where you've found this band, thought they were a gem, very underground, that you've introduced to other people, that now you look back, you're like, holy fuck, look at this beautiful fucking flower that grew out of this?
Yeah, there are a few bands that actually grow from it and that we actually have tracked and followed on and on and on. There are bands that we featured that had 500 monthly listeners, and now they are hitting over 20,000, and you can see them grow. And it's not all me, of course. We have a bunch of good people in the community that keep pushing those bands and keep helping them out. So it's all a team effort. We all do it together. But I have some manager friends, like my dude from Virtue, and they, every time I doubt myself, they are just mentioning, like, you can see where you start pushing the music, how the numbers are growing, and what you are doing. So it's very nice to have some sort of feedback from people that actually what I'm doing is making sense and that it's useful to some people.
Yeah, I fucking love that. You got us like 10 times increase in Spotify engagement, dude. There you go, from Hangman Spark. That's fucking awesome, man. That's fucking awesome. And see, just you talking about them, even though we're on a podcast, but like just the fact that there's a couple of bands that you've mentioned here and there, and when I jump in your streams that you talk about, I'm like, I need to go check out their other songs. I want to I want to go listen to that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna check you guys out, Hangman Spark. Thank you for being here.
The thing is,
and also
the thing is as well, I don't check out the bands on beforehand, because a first reaction is a first reaction. You can never change your first reaction to something.
Yeah.
So I give everyone that wants to be on the show the opportunity to come on the show. I just give them my email. I tell them, email me your Spotify handle, but just write me an email. Don't just send me the link, because then I delete it. If you don't put effort in me, I don't put effort in you. I don't ask them for money. I don't ask them to follow me. I don't ask them to watch the show. I just tell them, send me your links and I'll feature you. And usually, like, I don't know, I feature everyone. I want to give everyone a chance. I don't want to exclude anyone or make them feel like your music is not worthy to be on the show. I want to give everyone just a platform. And if your music is unproduced, home recorded, but we can still hear that you have potential, that's fine. We'll listen through that. You can definitely hear if someone has potential or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kath says, please have a decent Spotify bio.
Yeah, I freak out every single time a band does not have a biography. If you are in a band, add your bio to your Spotify. I'm a nosy bitch. I want to know everything about everyone. If you don't have a bio, how am I supposed to connect to your band if I do not know anything about you?
Yeah, we're probably one of the bands that you'd hate. We just have Metal from Dubai.
But at least you have the style and the location. That's a start. Like, I want to know where people are from. I want to know what they bring. If they put nothing, I have no idea what style they are. I have no idea what they bring. Because from the artwork, sometimes a band looks super deathcore and they bring emo shit. Like, I mean, you can't know. I love to know things about bands. And the more personal stuff they put in their biography, the more people will connect to them. Like, if a band puts in their biography, like, we love to get to know you, we love to talk to you, you know, oh, it's a band. If I react to their stuff on Instagram, they will probably react back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, it will engage people to like engage with your content.
Yeah, absolutely. Belfagor, what's going on? Belfagor says, I'll send my ass flute demo. I've seen it. It's not that great. Also, he doesn't have a bio on his on his Spotify for the ass flute demo.
It's always a risk coming on my show. I tell that to people. I am not a music reviewer. I just react to it and just introduce people to bands. But
Yeah.
if I don't like it, I swear to God, I don't like it. You will
Yeah.
see it on my face. I will tell you that it's dog shit, and you'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah. I want to get to that point. Ninja, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Judah Chop Viking, what's going on? I want to get to that point, but also, Lingo, what the fuck's wrong with you? Thank you for another 1,000 biddies. You absolute maniac. And DJ, I can't even say this. Welcome to the tribe. Thank you for hitting the follow. Let's see how let's see how Justine says it. See, I wasn't that far off. I wasn't that far off. I was not that far off. I said it pretty close. Thank you guys for all of this. As you know, we turn off alerts during the actual conversation, then we turn them back on to just give you guys a little thanks and stuff. But we're talking about honest reactions, right? You give it 100% honest reaction, and if you don't like shit, you don't like shit. I've gotten in trouble for saying some things didn't sound great, where people hit me up, like people from the band or people representing the band, go, "Hey man, that wasn't cool. Can we redact that or redo it?" How did you find the industry when it comes to that stuff? When it comes to, like, let's make a YouTube video about a reaction for this new single or something like that. Have you've touched into that world a little bit, have you?
I actually made my very first reaction video yesterday for YouTube. I did the Rammstein one. I had a friend of mine bugging me for months that I have to do YouTube reactions. And I'm terrified of YouTube because I'm always scared of the reactions, because I know that people can be very relentless on YouTube. So I don't mind if they don't like the video, but I was more afraid of commenting on, like, the way I look or the way I speak or stuff like that. So I was very, very terrified on posting on YouTube. So I made my first video yesterday, and people were very kind in the reactions. It's been doing pretty good online, so I was happy. But it happened where I featured a band and they had, like, clean vocals, and the screaming and the instrumentals were epic, and the cleans were terrible. But I mean terrible. Even I can sing better than that. Okay. And I just told them that, like, you guys are great, but please ditch the clean vocals. And they actually did the entire song, all the songs that they already made with the cleans. They just ditched the cleans and they restarted as a band with only screams and instrumental. And they are still grateful for that till this day. So
oh shit.
I like to be real. People want to watch me because I don't touch any technical stuff. I'm just a listener, just like all the other people, and I'll just tell them, like, I like this for this, and I do touch some technical stuff sometimes, like the drums, like talking about blast or talking about production or talking about stuff like that. But other than that, I just basically tell them it's good or it's bad. So if I don't like it, I don't like it. I do have people that post stuff about me on Facebook after I told them it's bad. But then after that, they messaged me like, even though you told them it was bad, we still had a lot of new listeners to our music. So we are still grateful you featured us. So it's not because I think it's bad that everybody thinks it's bad, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's the most important thing, right? It's like, that's why people follow you. It's for you and your opinion and what you bring to the table, not necessarily just because you echo everything that the listeners, your viewers like. I mean, Tribe knows this. They probably hate 95% of the things I like. And it's vice versa as well, because when we like to bust balls on this channel, we like to, like, just make fun of each other a lot. But there's a lot of people in the chat that play Adnan has shit taste in music. There you go. Thank you, Belfagor. The Belfagor listens to Silencer, you guys. He doesn't have an opinion. But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like breaking down that wall of, like, that elitism kind of, like, metal has to be this way, and just actually making fun of it and listening to it regardless is fun. You always complain about my Backstreet Boys playlist. I mean, listen. Tell me why. No, that's not Backstreet. That's NSYNC. fuck, whatever. I don't reference something to Backstreet Boys. But I want to ask you this because it is something that has greatly changed over the last 10, 15 years, and it isn't really an issue anymore. But is like commenting on your appearance or talking about the way you dress or look or something, is that something that you have to deal with being more of like on the social media front now?
I have to say, me personally, I don't have to deal with that, but I think that's just more because the person I am. Like in my stream, we are open to jokes. We are not very strict. Like people can make like rude sex jokes and I will just jump in on it and just go that extra mile and just make fun of it. Like a lot of people are too easily offended. I don't do that. So whenever people come in, I just always have an answer and I'm always very direct and very open and stuff like that. So people know how far they can go. So on my appearance, I never have that issue. Also, I am not one to post half naked pictures on my socials. So that kind of blocks out those people to comment on stuff like that. Like I'm the person that sits on stream with a hoodie and a beanie. I am not halfly naked on my stream. So I think in that case, I don't really have that. But YouTube is a different platform. They shit on everything they can. So me personally, I don't really have to deal with that. I don't really get it. I do have the other spectrum where I have a lot of annoying people in my inboxes all the time and very much unwanted pictures in my inbox all the time. So yeah, that does happen a lot.
Yeah, well, as someone that goes half naked on their stream, I have to say that it's benefited me greatly. I got Belphegor because of my nudity, right, Belphegor? Dave, what's going on? Welcome. But yeah, it's Kathy says being a woman in the industry, comment about appearance just happened. Speaking from my own experience, yeah, we've had a lot of different conversations with women from around the industry, with musicians and people behind the scenes alike on the podcast, and it's just one of those things that like for some reason people it's getting a lot better. I'm not saying that it's not. We're making a lot of progress, but for some reason people just have this kind of I don't want to say authority, but they just think like it's fine. Like I don't know how to explain it. They just assume like you're in the limelight. You're a podcaster, or a Twitch streamer, or a Instagrammer, or guitarist, whatever it is. Here's a dick pic. It's like what? That's not.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing, bro.
I have the other side of the spectrum. I have a lot of times where people are heavily supporting, and it's mostly because they like me or they want like to date me or whatever. And then they heavily support the channel for a while until I make it. I'm always very direct. I always tell them like I'm not interested, and then they still try until I make it like really clear, like I am not interested. And they take like screenshots of the things that I post online or the way I talk to people, and they want to like comment on it like I'm dating them or that I owe them something. And I'm like, dude, I'm a single woman. I'm not dating anyone. And I told you that I'm not interested in dating you. And then they stop supporting the channel. So that sucks. Like I keep telling the people on my channel, like if you are here for me, just me as a person and not for the music, then just leave again, because I am not interested. This is not a dating show. I am not here as an online Tinder service. Like that happened before.
Yeah, chat saying that's very fucking annoying, very fucking creepy, creepy as fuck. Absolutely. Sandy knows all about this. Sandy being a death metal vocalist in an industry, in a scene that's very, very small. Everybody's like, hey Sandy, what's going on? Sounds like people I know in chat, they just don't understand how to stop hitting on girls. People in chat don't know how to stop hitting girls. Oh, Belphegor. Just like me, I'm a strong, independent woman from Lingo. Akron Dave, what's going on? Welcome. Let me just do this real quick. Let's see what he says. Nine months. Boom. There you go. 9 months. We just had a baby, you and I. Thank you, Dave. What the fuck? I do not hit on people in chat. No, you don't. I do it in voice chats. There you go. um, Speaking of voice chats, earlier, just before we started the stream, we were talking a little bit about like the ecosystem that comes with a Twitch channel. Discord, you have your Instagram, you have your Twitter to complain at. You were telling me that you're not so super active on Discord anymore.
We used to have a big community on Discord. We used to be very involved in our Discord, and people were allowed to like share their personal stuff and everything. But in, I think it was January or February, I'm not sure anymore, we had two massive events happen in the community that kind of blew up. So first of all, we had this girl, and I had like 12 or 13 bands hit me up that she was stalking them through my Twitch. So she was kind of representing my community online because she was always in my Twitch, and she was stalking bands, sending them inappropriate stuff, adding them on Snapchat, and then just send them nudes and stuff like that, and just really, really creepy stuff. And she even blackmailed people and stuff like that. So I had a bunch of complaints. So we had to remove her from the community and do stuff like that. And I had to make huge apologies online and just tell people like, okay, I know this is part of my community, but this doesn't represent me. And we deleted the person, and just that we took action. And then like 2 weeks after, we had this girl in my community. She's been there for months. Even when I already gamed, she had been there for months. And she told everyone that she was sick, that she had cancer for years and stuff like that, always telling us that she was going to treatment, stuff like that. And then her friend died, and then another friend died, and stuff like that. And one day, I just told my mods, this is fishy. I do not trust this. I have like a sixth sense for bullshit. So I started to like search everything, her Facebook. I started image reversing things that she posted from hospitals and stuff. And I found out that every single thing she posted, every single thing she said, it was all fake. I could put back every single thing she did through all these months. But she also did charities for the stuff that she gone through, like for suicide, for cancer, and all through my community. And everyone was heavily involved. Like we did FaceTime, Zoom meetings, played games online. We even had like little nudity dungeon on my Discord where people could like post their thirst shit so that they wouldn't post them in my DM and stuff. So I was very sick of that. That really blew up. That was a crazy thing that happened. And on that point, I told my mods, like, I need distance from the community. Like, I cannot get involved in people's lives and be friends with everyone that watches my Twitch, because that really hit me. She was one person that I looked at her like one of my best friends. Like, I talked to her on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So finding all that out, that really exploded, and that was really like a huge bombshell in my community, and a lot of people were very affected by it and very hurt. So after that, we kind of closed off the Discord a bit. We deleted all the personal stuff that's on there, so people can post memes or selfies, and there's a general chat, but that's about it. And I'm not really active in it right now.
How has anything close to this even happened to any of you, chat? I'm asking because I actually haven't been very active in terms of online communities and stuff like that growing up. I was always creating content, but I never kind of hung out in forums and stuff like that. Did you, before this, did you have that kind of sixth sense about just people online, or is it something embedded? Did you just think like, man, this doesn't sound right, this doesn't add up?
I don't know. I think I watched too many episodes of Catfish on a day. But I always have like this bullshit kind of thing. If people give me stories that don't add up, like, I'm a problem solver for jobs. So if things don't add up, I always try to find why it doesn't add up. So I don't know, if things just, you can have one thing go wrong, you have two things go wrong, but if you have something happening to you every single week in like the worst way possible, sometimes it just doesn't add up anymore. So I don't know. I had the feeling for a bit, but then after the last thing happened, I was like, okay, I have to investigate this. Usually I would say fuck it and just leave it behind, but because my entire community was involved in it, and because I feel responsible for the safety of the people that want to be in my community, I had to find out what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I basically tricked her. I told her I wanted to talk to her about a charity that we were going to do. And I had all my evidence. I had everything piled up. And I just called her on a Zoom meeting. And I was like, hey, how is this person doing? How is he still in the hospital? When is he coming home? And she just started bullshitting me. And my face just went blank. You can stop bullshitting. I know it's not true. And her face just went blank. And I said, like, I just gave her like itty bitty things of what I found. I didn't tell her exactly where I had to prove and where I was just playing poker. So I just told her, like, you have one chance to give me the full truth, or I go public with this. And I had the record button on it. And after she was done with her story, I told her, I recorded everything. You have 1 week to make your online statement and just tell everyone the truth.
That's fucking crazy,
So,
dude.
yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. The only thing we've had in the Discord is someone came in and said you're not metal enough. Or something like. Do you guys remember that? He said Deathchord's shit. We're like, cool, that's fun. And then he kept copy pasting it. We're like, that's annoying. Stop doing that. But that must have sucked, especially because you as a person were attached to them and their story and were supporting them and just as a friend and stuff like that. That's fucking crazy. The chat, Lingo says, you know what happened to my Discord? That's true. Lingo's entire Discord got hacked. And they kicked him off the thing. It was a crazy ass story. He started messaging everybody in the in Lingo's Discord to try and like get them into another Discord. Crazy ass stuff. I work in insurance. I see fraud on a daily basis. Never to this extent. An ex-family member did create a fake profile on Facebook and messaged my wife a lot of nasty things. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I had a friend that had a fake profile on Facebook to try and check out what his girlfriend was doing.
Oh, I have a bunch of fake accounts with my pictures on it.
Oh, like
On
they steal your
Instagram.
photo. Oh, that happens. That's happened to a lot of my friends as well. And then they put a link, and the link is like to OnlyFans or some shit, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not yours.
It's that good that I have. It's called Twixo or something. I don't know. They do it through another app, and I have them on speed email, just so that I can email them the second they have it to delete the app from it. So I have them in my like address book on like the first thing. Just they know, I already know, like I'm messaging them like, hey guys, it's me again. This is happening again. Can you please delete it again? So yeah, it happens a lot. The awkward thing is they always follow my boss.
Yeah. That's the thing. They go and follow your followers.
Yeah, and
so
it's
that
always
they can
my
follow
boss.
back. It's always your boss. Nice. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't click the link. Dave says you're not metal enough. That's just Julian. It was Julian. Dave, how did you know? It was just Julian is our only troll.
Julian only listens to old people metal.
Julian is old people metal.
That is true. True.
Yeah, Julian is, and that's coming from me. I'm only a month older than him, but he's still old people metal. I am old people, exactly. We have a couple of more questions. Nigel's saying, you guys, I missed the first 35 minutes of tonight. Can you repeat every single word again for me? Yes.
Just the only thing you have to remember from the 35 first minutes is that the fox is the best.
Yes.
On Twitch.
So wait, what sound does the fox make?
No, we are not doing that. It's banned from the channel. No.
No, that's the sound. All right. Can you recommend a Belgian band from the underground? This is from Rami Lab Metal.
I have two bands that you have to check out. I don't know. Do you like metalcore or do you like the harder hardcore bands? I have two metalcore bands that you should check out. Moments is one of them. My mod should check it and send it in the chat. Moments and Secondhand Saints are the two bands to keep an eye on. They are going to do big things. And otherwise, I have Subvergence and Cellar Door if you are more into the hardcore scene.
Okay, well, knowing Rami, because I know Rami, and he's probably not into metalcore. He's into like the more avant-garde kind of stuff. He likes the fancy black metals. Moments is pretty good. There you go. Dave knows Moments. Hell yeah. We have one more question from Rexter. What is the hardest challenge you faced to get to where you are now?
Oh, I'm still facing hard challenges all the time. I think people underestimate how much work it is and how much we put into this. Like, I have a full-time job. I usually work around 60 hours a week. So people usually forget that I'm only human, that I put all my free time in this, that I put my heart and soul into this. And not everyone always appreciates it, or they take it for granted. And for me, the hardest part is I am someone that I seem very open, but I'm very closed off to new people. Like, I always keep my distance. And at first, it was very hard for me to like filter out who wants to be around me, to like jump the success train and like have my support and only talk to me to get my support, or people that actually want to be friends. I think personally that was the hardest thing to figure out.
As someone that's a little more introverted, how do you gauge how do you gauge how much you give the community and stuff on Twitch? Like, because when I first started, I was a stutter. I was just like now, exactly. just sitting there going, hey everybody, how's it going? I couldn't really like engage and be vocal and stuff like that. How do you gauge that? Where do you stand on that kind of spectrum?
I used to be very closed off and I never shared anything that I was going through with my community because I thought it's nobody's business. But then I had someone that was partner in the Netherlands. He stopped streaming on Twitch. And he made a comment like, if you want to grow a community, you have to give yourself to your community. Like, you have to be open and talk to them about stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to say my community has been there through a lot of hard stuff. Like, they've been there through my divorce and stuff like that, and moving back to my parents. And I always try to like explain it to them and tell them, but not let it take over my show or let it like be the vibe of my show. Like, I mention it like it happened, but I mention it as a casual fact and not really like a deep story. Or with like the thing of that fake profile thing, we mentioned the facts. Like, we said like, okay, we have now 5 minutes that we are going to talk about this. You can talk about it in chat. 5 minutes, I give you the facts. I won't tell you how I feel about it. I won't gossip, just what I know and what I have like on paper that is true. You guys can comment on it, and after that it's closed off and we stop talking about it. We don't bring it up in chat again. And usually it works. And I think people appreciate that they know things about me. Like, I don't go too deep, or I don't mention everything or try to give it a vibe, but I do like my community to know certain things or when things happen. Like, there was this song, for example, that came out the Friday after my granddad passed away. Like, we buried them on Thursday, and there was this song coming out by Forever and Always Eternal, and I started bawling my eyes out on stream. So my chat knew, they listened to the song, they saw my reaction, but they knew why that reaction came and why I connected to that song so heavily. And they wouldn't have known if I would have kept everything to myself. Like, I even have the song tattooed on my wrist now. So it's a band with like 200 monthly listeners. So
yeah, underground through and through for you. Yeah, that's really fucking cool. Derpy's yelling at me in the chat because I need to do that more often. But yeah, the balance for me is always off. I'm either like you said, heart on my sleeve, like I'm talking about way too much, or I'm like, fuck it, shove it under the rug. We're not talking about anything today, and just powering through it, just doing only music talks.
Oh yeah, but my community can always tell when I'm off or when something's going on. They know.
Yeah.
Like I usually like tell them, and then I tell them like, okay, I will need all your hype today, and just usually they throw in some karaoke's at first, and then we're all good, and then we start vibing again, and it's usually like when everything gets hard, I have my stream, and my streams is what makes me forget about everything else in the world, and I have my people, and we make fun, and we make jokes, and it's always a good time. Like my mods, they crack me up every single day. If it's not on stream, it's on Messenger or whatever, and it's always good fun. It's always hilarious, and they always make me laugh. Like we have a bunch of inside jokes on my stream going on, and it's very fun to like have that and just have people that want to be there and want to make fun and want to have a good time.
Yeah. That's the whole gist of it, right? It's just people getting together from around the fucking world to have a good time and talk about music and life in general. Like it's not, I always say Tribe isn't here just for the good times. Like we're here for everything. Like if you guys are going through some shit, we have a safe space on our Discord where it's just safe. If you want to vent, if you want to tell us something, there's a lot of cool people in this sphere. You guys are fucking cool. You know that?
Yeah.
Except for you know who you are. Rami Lab Metal says Adnan shared with us a picture of him without a beard, and it gave us nightmares. That wasn't it was a Photoshop, Rami. Did you just call me a sphere? Also, fuck you. I know. I wasn't talking about you, Belfagor. God damn it. Have you guys seen the photo of me without the beard? It's pretty, it's a sight for sore eyes. Go to our Discord. Go to, I don't know where I put it. I might have just thrown it in general to annoy everyone.
Yeah, we also, if people come into chat and they want to share sad things, we usually don't go into it, but we like try to like, oh, you came at the right channel. You will forget all your sorrows, and we will have a good time. You are ready to party, and then they usually get into that vibe as well. And we try to not put effort into sad attitudes.
Yeah, I kind of do that too. I think it's like I always say in stream, like we're not here to talk politics, talk religion, talk fucking world hunger. I'm from the Middle East. There's enough things to be upset about over here.
Yeah.
This is the place where we can get to hang out and be as fun as possible, as open as possible, get to meet people, and then in Discord and off the screen, off the live stream, we can have all these other more serious debates and conversations and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Derpy is asking you a question. Did you go through phases of worrying about the stream numbers, or were you always able to overlook that?
Oh, it's very funny that you asked that right now, because we are kind of going through that right now. We had some insane months, and the last month we just dipped completely. I have no idea what's going on, but my numbers dipped completely, especially on Fridays, and I have no idea why or what happened. So I try to not look into that as much, because streaming has given me a lot of great, insane opportunities next to streaming.
Yeah.
But if you put in all the effort and all the time and work on it all the time, every single moment, and everything you do is into that, and you do everything for free, you support over 1,000 bands, and then your viewer count completely dips, people are not showing up, it does affect you. You can say whatever you want, but it does discourage a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason Derp is asking that is because we've had similar, as she says, the dip in chat. It's all over Twitch currently. Yeah, that's for sure. But there's this weird balance that I've learned I'm learning to deal with, kind of thing, where it's not necessarily about the numbers. It's more about the impact. Like I'd rather have 5 fucking very happy people in chat than 500 that are just kind of lurking and it's playing in the background. So it's Twitch have been modifying their systems and it's impacting shit. Yeah, it's not only Twitch though. My Instagram's going crazy too. Yeah, there's it's just people it's post-pandemic. People are going back to work. There's a fucking war going on. There's a million things happening. People can't even afford gas prices anymore. So it's there's a lot of things going on that people like, that used to sub can't anymore. Stuff like that.
To me, I'm always lucky. It usually balances. Like my Instagram is doing pretty good. Like I went from 5 likes on a picture to having over 100 likes on every picture I post. So that's keeping up. And then yesterday I was fortunate enough that my first YouTube video actually did pretty good. Like I had over 700 views when I last looked. So I was very shocked that a YouTube video, the first one I posted, I thought I would have 5 views, that it did very well. And it had a lot of comments about people that aren't even in my community. So I was very lucky that the numbers on Twitch weren't that great, but all the others like kind of picked it up, and then it lifted my spirits again and be like, yeah, okay, it's just a bad moment. Other things are doing good. Every opportunity next to your stream is still doing great. So I try to hold on to it, and I'm lucky to have my mods again that I can just vent to them. Like, okay, we are on a dip. It's discouraging. I don't know what's going on. And then we talk it through, and then we look like, is there something we have to change on the channel? Is it just a general thing? Are we still doing great? What could it be? What can I do to make it better? And then we just try to see if something is able to like switch or change or grow from it, or just keep doing what we are doing and just sit it out and wait till things pick up again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, thanks to fucking maniacs like Lengo over here with another 1,000 fucking biddies. I don't even know what to say. There you go. I have no words. And Derpy Paws with 100 biddies and a message for Evy.
For me?
Yeah. Here we go.
Can I read it? Oh.
You'll hear it. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, that's so kind. I really appreciate that.
Awesome. Manav is in the house. What's going on? I think anybody that's creating content, and this, I'm coming from a point where Twitch is fairly new to me, but I did create a lot of content throughout the years. I used to manage like full-time content creators here in Dubai that had like we built some guy from like 60,000 views to 3 million on Instagram and Facebook, and on a long enough timeline, as long as the timeline is going up, it's fine. When you start to narrow it down and there's a dip and you freak and there's a high and you celebrate, it's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah,
you got to look at it on the longer timeline kind of thing.
Yeah, we actually have like a stats folder where we take every single number from every single social and we post it in the folder every single week, and we can like see if we are still growing, what's going on, if we have a dip, what we are doing right, when we are doing something right, when things are going massively up or when they are going down and stuff like that. So we do keep track as much as we can of all socials, especially Instagram, because I feel like if I ever want to get decent sponsorships, Instagram needs to be up to get them, because they will most likely look at my Instagram numbers instead of my Twitch numbers.
Yeah. I also have a question for you. Are you on TikTok?
The TikTok question. The thing is, I have no idea how to use it. I suck at it. I think if someone would actually teach me how to make decent TikToks, I might do it, but I post sometimes, but I usually post reels. Like from my interviews, I make like shortcuts. Like I make little teasers to have people like want to watch the full interview. But other than that, like I am not one to make funny dances or do makeup tutorials on an app. I'm too old for that.
The reason I ask is because we started a TikTok. I did exactly what you said. I started posting kind of snippets, clips from the either interviews or just the regular live streams, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. They're like, use different sounds. I'm like, I'm using my own. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't want to put songs on the dick cock. Yes, the tuk like Lingo's saying.
That's why I post reels and not on TikTok, because like for the reels, you can actually make the person that is in the video, you can make him like a contributor, and then it's posted on both socials, so you have way more reach. Like I had a clip with Andy Sizak, and it was watched like over 12,000 times, I guess. So I see way more benefit in that than in TikTok. I also don't think that for the metal scene, for like what we are doing, that there's a definite reach on TikTok. I don't believe that.
I know Nick Nocturnal does a bunch of like TikTok metal reactions and stuff like that, but it's more about the lack of metal there than it is about like, because they have great bands on TikTok. You know what I mean? It's like, it's more cringe kind of content than it is.
Also, you can't compare, like whatever Nick touches, it turns to gold. I had the opportunity to have Nick on an interview, and we will have him back on the podcast next month. He is just such a good dude, and even though he's so successful and he works all the time, he is still so down to earth and so fun to talk to, and he's just a very genuine, nice person. Yeah,
absolutely. We've had him on this show as well, and it was like an Instagram message. This is very early on, before we had we had really anyone else on the show. I just messaged him on Instagram saying, "Yo, want to come on the show? I have a thing on Twitch," and he said yes. That was it.
I had him through the magazine first, and now I can just like text him on Instagram, like, because now I'm in his DMs. I'm not in like the request ones. I can just text him like, "Hey, I have this. Are you up for it or not?" And if he says no, it's fine. If he says yes, it's fine too. He said yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope when you get, like we were saying earlier, like even collaborating with people in the industry or people that you grew up listening to or something like that. It's fucking crazy. We have a bunch of questions about all of this stuff. Steel Shout says, how difficult was it for you to manage all the content creation with your daily routine? With your daily life routine. I'm speaking as a content creator that is keeping his day job. So for those that don't know, Steel Shout is a Saudi Arabian metal podcast that's in Arabic. It's very, very fucking rare. And I'm telling you this from experience, to have an Arabic speaking metal podcast. He's introduced metal to a plethora of brand new listeners because of it. And it's a great question. How difficult was it for you to manage that?
To be honest, it is not easy. Like I said, I travel a lot. Like I have to fix my travels for my job. I'm lucky that I have my own schedule, but usually I have to fly on Monday morning and have to make sure that I fly back on Wednesday to be back in time for my stream or stuff like that. Like I always try to plan everything around my stream, but like I said, I have to fly all over the world to do my job. I work usually over 60 hours a week. So I don't sleep a lot, and I don't have a social life anymore. Like if people want to do something with me, they have to schedule it way on beforehand. And usually Saturday nights are my only nights that I actually go out or see people, because it's the only time that I actually have time to do something. And other than that, I'm always creating. Now that I took on YouTube as well, it's something else. I want to like do that every single week, one video every week, to be like consistent. So that's something else I added. So I rather put my time and energy into like the creation of content that I like to do than invest in TikTok that I don't like.
So the gist of today is fuck TikTok, you guys. That's the gist of today. We have a couple of text to speech that we're gonna have to play right now. Ninja with 200 biddies over and over. Let's hear what Ninja's got to say here. Just activate this real quick, you guys. This is the first one. Every nose curl makes me giggle tongue. I read the emote. Thank you very much.
Oh. Ninja, I hate you. I swear to God.
There you go. Twice.
Oh.
Giggle tongue.
Yeah, I have this thing, my face. Like, I always like the
Oh, we call that
yeah.
We call that the stank face.
Yeah, every time I like something, and every time I do it, I don't notice myself. Like, I'm just vibing to whatever I'm doing. I never watch my own webcam or my stream when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
And he always like is in my stream like, oh, the nose curl, she likes it. She likes it.
Yeah. Can you guys throw up my version of a nose curl on chat? Just flood the screen with my nose curl, because it's not as appealing. No one's ever said that's cute or giggle tongued at it.
Giggle tongued at it.
We're gonna keep that. We're gonna make a command now. Giggle tongue. There you go. There's a stank face.
Yeah, if you ever come into my chat, you have to write Randy in the chat.
Okay, what does Randy do?
Then my chat will go bananas. There's this song. We had this feature of this band, and they had like a meme song, and it was so good. And it basically just was a song saying, Randy, your balls. And they made a thing out of it, and now everyone is making memes off of it and just spamming Randy or spamming balls in my chat all the time.
Yeah. A lot of people spam balls here too. That's fucking amazing. Randy, how'd you find that band? How do you find these bands? That's one question I want to ask you. Do you go on Spotify and like filter by viewers, or what do you do?
I don't have time to find my own bands to put it in. Like, I just give bands my email and I tell them, if you want to feature, just email me. And I'm already like 50 emails behind. Like, they just keep messaging me like, can you feature us? And then I put them on a list, and I just go list by list. Like, we have a planning, and I just go mail by mail, and I just randomly add them on the planning, first come, first served.
Yeah.
And that's how I do it.
That's fucking cool. That is very fucking cool. Lengo, thank you for another 100 biddies. Let's see what Lengo says. When I come back home, half the people don't remember me. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. But yeah, fucking every 7 days, you go out to the oil rigs and work there for 7 days and then come back for 7 days. That's fucking crazy. That is pretty fucking crazy. I think that's one of the things that isn't like necessarily an advantage for me, but is something that I've definitely brought to the streaming world. Is I was always a freelancer. I've never had a day job. I've never had kind of a schedule that I had to adhere to that other people put. So I've brought that into here. Like, if you finish within the certain period of time and you nail all the clips and you have everything edited and good to go, like I just kind of brought that same mentality to live streaming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. Who are you? That's funny, you guys. That's funny. Listen, Evy, not Evie, and not Wise, but the Fox! ! Guest in the chat, you guys. Go follow her Twitch. You have a link tree on there as well, so they can get to your Instagram. Yep. Everything is Evy the Fox.
Yeah. And
there you go.
Is linked. Everything is linked on my page, so.
And if you're on our Instagram, you can find it easily. It's the last post. It's on the stories. Go follow and check out some good fucking underground bands from around the world. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say it live here. We should do an episode where I introduce you to Middle Eastern bands.
Do it.
Brand new, fresh Middle Eastern bands that you might not have heard, and not only under 500 listeners or 5,000. These guys have 5. So like,
oh, yeah. We had I don't remember the name, but we had a few Middle Eastern bands on the channel, and they usually are pretty good. But I don't remember the names. I featured like over 1,000 bands in a year, so sometimes I do forget the names. But I do know that we had some Middle Eastern bands. I have a friend that lives in Jordan, and he sometimes sends me Middle Eastern bands as well.
Oh hell yeah! We'll do the stream exchange like Derpy's saying. We'll do the stream exchange. Can I post her link tree here? Yes, please. Go for it, Ninja. Everybody go follow. We usually when we raid we yell something in the chat once we go over there. So just before we start winding down a little bit, and I ask you the very last question, is there anything you want to yell in the chat once we finish here to whoever we're raiding?
Ooh, that's a good one. We never do raid posts, so it's
we
because I never know what to say.
Yeah, I think it should be Giggle Tongue.
Giggle Tongue, yeah. I think that's a good one.
It should be Giggle Tongue, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's keep that in mind while I ask this next question. Let me actually just kill the background music. This is a serious question, you guys. I just get a little closer. Evy, if you had a time machine and you were to go back in time before the Twitch streams, before the Instagrams, before everything took off, before Discord drama, back to when you were just falling in love with music, and you got in this time machine, you went to young Evy before all this started, and you were to say something to her, what would you say?
Never get married. Start doing music very much sooner. Don't waste your time on men. Men are not worth it. Marry music instead.
Marry music instead. There you go.
And watch out, you will break a lot of bones in mosh pits.
Yeah. Cyberfae, I never heard background music. Is it just me? No, it's very, very low. Thank you for the clap. Never marry. There you go. Metal Eris, what's going on? All the ladies in the chat are raising their fists in the sky for you there.
Never marry, just Giggle Tongue.
Never marry, just Giggle Tongue. Good advice. There you go. But yeah, that's a first. That's the first time I think anyone's ever said don't get married on the podcast. That's awesome. All right. And with those words, you guys, marry music, marry your passion, follow your dreams, and don't binge watch Netflix. Is kind of the theme today. Thank you so much for being here, Evy. It was a pleasure to get to know you, and I'm a fan, as you know, of your streams. I might not be as active in the chat side, but I'm always there.
We stream on the same hours. So.
Yeah, we stream very much the same hours, and when I do catch you on stream when I'm not streaming, it's the day I'm like editing the podcast, so it's always up on this monitor. I married my left hand, Still Shout says. That's upsetting. At least it's your left hand, not your. I don't know how to make that better.
Nah, it doesn't work.
I tried to save him. It just didn't work. Just didn't work.
At least you still have your ribs.
There you go. There you go. So Giggle Tongue, remember we're yelling Giggle Tongue in this raid. Thank you, you absolute fucking maniacs for an amazing stream. Lengo213, I'm scared to play Phasmophobia with you after all of that, but I don't know what else to say. Thank you for everything you've done. Everybody that's gifted subs, and thrown some bits, Ninja and Derpy Paws and Akron Dave and DJ. Carl von Mansfeld, Sven, everybody, man. Thank you, guys. Who popped out Moshing Mustafa? That's Moshing Mustafa in front of you, by the way. I don't know if I've introduced.
I already noticed a few times. Can I also give a massive shout out to the people from my community that took the time to hang out on Saturday and come in and show some love to Unmuted, and I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who came here and listened for an hour and 45 minutes to all my talking.
Yeah, thank you guys for everybody that's here from. Was it the dungeon? The Fox dungeon,
Yeah,
right?
the Fox dungeon, yeah. It's very accurate.
Yeah, exclamation point guest to get the Twitch channel. And Evy, I keep saying Evie. I keep wanting to say Evie. I'm just so wired. Evy the Fox on Instagram and Twitch. You fucked up the link in the guest command, did I? You guys just.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
I'll just post it then. Jesus fucking Christ! I had to fuck it up.
Wait, let me just post. There you go.
There you go. There you go. There's the link. Oh. And yeah, go follow. Go follow right now. Giggle Tongue when we raid over, and we'll be seeing a lot more of Evy in the near future. We have a lot of ideas that I'm gonna pitch her very, very soon. Like I said, thank you guys very much, Evy. It's tradition around here. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna peace out right now, but you have the floor. The podcast is not officially over until you say the words hit the outro. So it's you and the tribe and the Dungeoneers. Until you say the words hit the outro. So let them know what you got going on.
Get some titties in chat. Let's go.
Let them know what's going on, and whenever you're ready, say hit the outro.
All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Like I said, get some titties in that chat and hit the outro. Let's